Hello everyone, good day for all. Welcome back to Ayursamveda, a smart way to Ayurveda. We have discussed the portions of Padartha Vinjana in Fastrack revision series. If you have not watched those videos, please click the I button to access it. Moving with the portions of Ayurveda Ithihasa. What is Ithihasa? Itiha asmin iti Ithihasa. The evidence-based narrative of what happened in the past is called as Ithihasa. So we should know the history, or we should inquire about the history, or we should get the knowledge which has been happened in the past. So we should know how this Ayurveda has developed and what are the developmental activities that has been done in the field of Ayurveda. Such things has been told, or we can understand by the Ithihasa. So the different authors who has contributed to the different samhitas or different textbooks of Ayurveda, so we have categorized them as in the Samhita Kala, Sangraha Kala, and the even modern era also the authors has contributed to the development of Ayurveda. So the authors of Samhita Kala. So first is Acharya Punarvasu. He is the son of sage Atri. He have studied Ayurveda from Bharadwaja itself. That is, the Bharadwaja has gone to Indra and he has acquired the knowledge of Ayurveda, and he came back to the earth, and he has made this Acharya Punarvasu has studied the science of Ayurveda from Bharadwaja. And he was the first preceptor to teach medicine scientifically, or he is known as, or he is told to be the first teacher, or the first guru who had shishyas along with him for the transfer of this knowledge of Ayurveda. And he belongs to almost 10,000 BC. 1000 BC, and his disciples were Agnivesha, Bhela, Jadukarna, Parashara, Harita, and Ksharapani. Next is Dhanvantari. Dhanvantari is considered to be the Hindu god of medicine and an incarnation or avatar of Lord Vishnu. Also, Dhanvantari is said to be the son of Dhanva, the king of Kashi, and he has the name as Devodasa Dhanvantari, and he is the king of Kashi region, and he is also considered to be the avatar or incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Dhanu or Dhanva means surgery, and Anda means end. So Dhanvantari means ultimate reference for surgical sciences, and the other different works done by Dhanvantaris are Chigilsa Tattva Vijnana, Chigilsa Darshana, Chigilsa Kaumudi, Chigilsa Sara Sangraha, etc. And different formulations in the name of Dhanvantaris are Dhanvantari Krita, Mrityunjaya Loha, etc. Next is Kashyapa. He created the special branch of Kaumara Bhritya, or he contributed a particular textbook of Kaumara Bhritya, and it is called as Kashyapa Samhita, and it is also called as Vritha Jivaka Tantra. And Kashyapa Samhita contains 200 chapters, of which only 75 chapters are available, and all the other sthanas are like Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, like that. This Kashyapa Samhita also has Sutra Sthana, Nidana Sthana, Sharira Sthana, etc. But a unique feature of Kashyapa Samhita is that it has a particular sthana called as Khilasthana, which is not present in any of other sthana of any other samhitas. And in this Kashyapa Samhita, we get all references regarding the Kaumara Bhritya or Bala Roga, how a child is getting developed, what are the diseases pertaining to the child, how we have to manage that, and as a child they cannot speak, and how we have to understand the diseases which is occurring to the child. Such all different matters related to the pediatrics has been mentioned in this Kashyapa Samhita. Next is Agnivesha. He is the author of Agnivesha Tantra. Presently it is known as Charaka Samhita, but it is actually written by Agnivesha, and he is one of the disciples of Acharya Punarvasu. And Charaka has done the redaction, or he has done the Pratisamskarta, and then this Agnivesha Tantra is presently known as Charaka Samhita. Next is Sushruta. He belongs to 1000 BC, and he is one of the disciples of Devodasa Dhanvantari, and he is expert in Shalya Tantra and wrote Sushruta Samhita. This Sushruta Samhita is being redacted by Nagarjuna and Chandrata, and this Sushruta Samhita contains 120 chapters in 5 sthanas and 66 chapters are present in Uttara Tantra. And mainly this Sushruta Samhita focuses on Shalya and anatomy, and Sushruta is considered to be the father of surgery. Next is Bhela. He is also one of the 6 disciples of Atraya Punarvasu. Bhela Samhita is also written during that time itself, but it was in the incomplete form. It contains 8 sthanas and a total of 120 chapters, and presently 106 chapters are only available, and it has not been done any redaction, and this manuscript is present at the Tanjavur library. Next is Harita. He is also one of the Shishya of Atraya Punarvasu, and he has written the Harita Samhita, and it is also not completely available, and 103 chapters in 6 sthanas are present, and original work is not available presently. Charaka. The word Charaka means wanderer. So reference of Charana Vaidya Shakha has been mentioned in Atharva Veda, that is the persons who are wandering or the physicians who is moving from one place to another. So Acharya Charaka was the first one to redact or do the edition of the Agnivesha Tantra, and finally this Agnivesha Tantra is now famous in the name of Charaka Samhita. And his contribution was so remarkable, that's why this Samhita is known as Charaka Samhita. And then also it was not complete, and Acharya Dhritapala has completed that Charaka Samhita. He has added 41 chapters, and presently what we are seeing is done by these 3 Acharyas. Next is Dhritapala. He has completed Charaka Samhita. Total 41 chapters has been added, 17 chapters in Chikilsa Sthana and 12 chapters of Kalpasthana and 12 chapters of Siddhi Sthanas are added by Dhritapala, and he belongs to the Gupta dynasty, and the period is around 4th century AD. Next is Vagbhada, the author of Ashtanga Hridaya and Ashtanga Sangraha. The Lakhu Vagbhada is considered to be the author of Ashtanga Hridaya, and Vritha Vagbhada is considered to be the author of Ashtanga Sangraha. He is considered to be belong to 6th century AD, and Ashtanga Sangraha has 150 chapters in 6 sthanas, and Ashtanga Hridaya has 120 chapters in 6 sthanas. Next is Nagarjuna. He has done the redaction, or he is the Priti Samskarta of Sushruta Samhita. Different personalities in the name of Nagarjuna was identified. One is the contemporary king of Kanishka region, and Rasasiddha Nagarjuna was the author of the various books on Rasa Shastra like Yoga Ratnamala, etc. And who redacted this Sushruta Samhita is believed to belong to the Gupta period, that is in the 4th century AD. Next is Jivaka. He is a disciple of Kashyapa, and he has written the Kashyapa Samhita, and this Kashyapa Samhita is also known as Vritha Jivaka Tantra, and his period was before Buddha, and its references can be seen in the Buddha dynasty or the manuscripts of the Buddha region, and he has treated Buddha and also has become his disciple. Next is the commentators. Bhattara Harichandra, he is the first commentator of Charaka Samhita. He wrote Charakanyasa. His period is said to be 6th century AD, and presently the up to 3rd Adhyaya of Sutrasthana is available, and he has also the author of various poetries and proses, and he has also redacted the Karanada Samhita. Next is Jayachada. He is the author of Nirantara Pada Vyakhya, again a commentary of Charaka Samhita. Presently the complete text is not available. Tika, this Jayachada's Tika is edited by Pandit Haridatta Shastri and is printed from Lahore. He has also written commentary on Sushruta Samhita and Ashtanga Hridaya, but they are not available. And Chandrata has done the Patha Shuddhi on Sushruta Samhita based on Jayachada's commentary. Chakrapani Datta, his period is almost 11th century AD, and he belongs to the Bengal region, and he has written the commentary on Charaka Samhita known as Ayurveda Deepika, and which is most popular and presently completely available commentary on Charaka Samhita. And because of his knowledge, he is known as Charaka Chaturanana, and he has also written Sushruta Samhita's commentary called as Bhanumati Tika, and he is also known as Sushruta Sahasranayana, and he has written many other textbooks also. One of them is known as Chakradatta, which deals with the management or the treatment principles. Next is Jallana. He is the commentator of Sushruta Samhita and wrote the Nibandha Sangraha. He belongs to the 12th century AD, and he himself calls his as Viveka Brihaspati. His commentary, that is Nibandha Sangraha, is considered to be the popular commentary because of its explanation in a simple language, and it is the only commentary of Sushruta Samhita which is available in the full form. Next is Nishchalakara. He is also the commentator of Chakradatta, which is being written by Chakrapani Datta. The commentary written by Nishchalakara is Ratnaprabha. Book is not published, and this manuscript is available at Pune in the Pantu Lipi, and he belongs to 12th to 13th century AD. Next is Vijayarakshita. He is the commentator of Madhava Nidana. The commentary is called as Madhukosha Vyakhya. Commentary is only for 31st chapters. After that, the commentary is being written by Shrikanda Datta, and it is the first lucid commentary on Madhava Nidana. Gayadasa, the commentator of Sushruta Samhita, and the commentary is Nyaya Chandrika. The commentary is also called as Brihat Panchika or Saushruta Panchika, and only Nidana Sthana is available. Arunadatta, commentator of Ashtanga Hridaya. Sarvanga Sundari is the commentary, and it is only the available commentary which is in the full form, and he is dated to 12th century AD, and he has also written commentary on Sushruta Samhita, but it is not available. Hemadri, he wrote Ayurveda Rasayana commentary on Ashtanga Hridaya. His belongs to later half of 13th century. He is being addressed by Raja Hemadri because of his great scholarship. Sutrasthana, Nidanasthana, and first 6 chapters of Chikilsa and Kalpasthana are only available, and it is not in the complete. And other works written by Hemadri are Chaturvarga Chintamani, based on Hindu Dharma and kingship and statecraft, and also he has written commentary on Mukta Bhala and Hari Leela of Vopateva. Gankadara Rai, he is also the commentator of Charaka Samhita, and his commentary is Jalpa Kalpataru. He gives stress to the relation between the principles of Charaka Samhita and Ayurveda Darshana, especially Nyaya and Vaisheshika Darshanas. He has written many other books on the subjects like Tantra, Vyakarana, Sahitya, etc. Some of the works are Ayurveda Paribhasha, Bhaishajya Ramayana, Nadi Pariksha, etc. Yogindra Nath Sen. Charakopaskara is the commentary on Charaka Samhita written by Yogindra Nath Sen. It is not complete due to his death. He is follower of Kaviraj Gankadara Roy. He established Ayurveda Patashala and hospital at Calcutta, and his commentary was published in 1920. It's available from the first chapter of Sutrasthana and 13th chapter of Chikilsa Sthana. He was the president of All India Ayurveda Congress conducted at Kanpur in 1912. Harana Chandra, commentator of Sushruta Samhita. Sushrutartha Santipani is the commentary. He belongs to 19th to 20th century. He attained great fame as a physician and a surgeon. It is the last Sanskrit commentary on Sushruta Samhita. He is elected as the president of All India Ayurveda Congress, which is held in Mumbai. Intu, the commentator of Ashtanga Sangraha, and commentary is Shashilekha. He is considered to be the disciple of Vagpada, and this Shashilekha is the only available commentary on Ashtanga Sangraha. Next, moving with the authors of Sangraha Kala. Bhava Mishra, he is the author of Bhava Prakasha. He belongs to the 16th century AD and he covers all the important aspects of Ayurveda in an easy style in his text Bhava Prakasha, and he has also wrote another book known as Gunaratnamala. Sharankatara, he is the author of Sharankatara Samhita. He has acquired mastery in Ayurveda and Sanskrit. He seems to adopt many concepts from Gada Nigraha, another textbook in Ayurveda, and he has given perfect, concise definitions of drug actions like Deepana, Pachana, such all definitions has been given in Sharankatara Samhita. Vrinda, author of Siddha Yoga Sangraha, he belongs to 10th century AD, and arrangement of chapters is same as in Madhava Nidana, and it deals with the treatments also. Madhava Nidana deals about the Nidana Panchakas only, but Siddha Yoga Sangraha deals with the management of these diseases also, and only herbal formulations are mentioned, not Rasaushadhis. Next is Madhavakara. He is the author of Madhava Nidana. He belongs to 12th century AD, and Madhava Nidana is the first attempt to produce a textbook or subject-wise textbook in the Roga Vijnana. Next is Shautala. He is the author of Gada Nigraha. It deals with the Bhaishijya Kalpana. Shautala belongs to 12th century, and another two books has been written by Shautala, that is Gada Nigraha and Guna Sangraha or Nama Sangraha. Guna Sangraha is famous as Shautala Nighantu, and it comprises of 27 chapters with qualities of herbs. Govinda Dasa, he is the author of Bhaishijya Ratnavali. It is a treatise on different formulations, that is different medicinal formulations has been mentioned in Bhaishijya Ratnavali. Chikilsa Sutra, Ahara Vihara, Pathya Patyas are mentioned in this textbook. He belongs to 18th century, and Vidyotini commentary is written by Kaviraj Ambika Datta Shastri on Bhaishijya Ratnavali. Basavaraja, Neelakantha Basavaraja is the author of Basavarajiyam. It is a book on medicine, and he lived during the 14th century AD. He is well versed in Ayurveda and literature, and he has written various verses in Sanskrit and Telugu language. Next is authors of modern era. Gana Nath Sen, he is born at Benares. He was the disciple of Gangadhara Roy. He studied MA Sanskrit and joined medical college and completed LMS by 1903. Later he studied Ayurveda from his father and Acharya Kaliprasanna Sen and become a popular physician. He used to diagnose a patient through modern line and given Ayurvedic management. He wrote a book on anatomy on the name Pratyaksha Sharira in Sanskrit language, which has been later translated into Hindi. He composed a pathology in Sanskrit and named it as Siddhanta Nidana. He established a Kalpataru Ayurveda pharmacy, and Government of India honored him with the title Mahopadhyaya. Other titles which has been given to him are Vidyasagara, Pranacharya, Ayurveda Vajaspati. In 1932, he was the founder and principal of Vishwanath Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya and Chikilsalaya at Kolkata. In 1935, he was the principal and dean of Ayurvedic College, BHU. Yamini Bhushan Rai, he was born in Bengal. He studied MA Sanskrit and later he completed MBBS from Calcutta Medical College. Later he learned Ayurveda from his father. He has set up Vaidyaraja Pharmacy, which sold only Ayurveda medicines. He was the president of 7th All India Ayurvedic Conference in Madras. In 1916, he established Ashtanga Ayurveda College at Kolkata, and he has written many books in Sanskrit related to different branches of Ayurveda. Shankar Daji Shastri Pade, he was born in 1867 in Bombay, and 1909 he died. He belongs to Marathi region. He learned Ayurveda from Sri Bhanu Vaidya Kulkarni. He was the founder of Nikhila Bharatiya Ayurveda Mahasammelana and was the first president. He published journals named Raja Vaidya, Aryabhishak, Sadvaidya, Kaustubha, etc. And he started Ayurvedic College at Nasik and Nagpur. Swami Lakshmiram, he was a famous physician of Rajasthan. He was born in 1873 and he was underwent theoretical and practical under the guidance of Sri Gana Nath Sen of Kolkata, and he served as a professor at Ayurveda College, Jaipur, and he spent his earning to establish Ayurveda and made publications of Ayurveda books. Yadavji Trikamji Acharya, he was born in 1881 at Gujarat. He was the founder of Ayurveda Granthamala Trust, which is established for authentic editions of ancient books. Learned Vyakarana, Darshana, Arabic, Farsi, Unani from different teachers. He has translated Madhavanidhana, Pratyaksha Sharira of Gana Nath Sen. He has given many manuscripts like Rasendra Chudamani, Basavarajyam, etc. And he was the president of Ayurveda Mahamandala. Dr. P.M.Mehta, Pranajivan Manikchand Mehta was the founder principal of Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya. He was born in 1895 and belongs to Gujarat state. He studied MBBS, MD, MS and joined Bombay Medical Service. He translated Charaka Samhita in English, Hindi and Gujarati language. He established Gulab Kunvarba Ayurveda Society. He was the director of Central Institute of Research in Indian Medicine established in Jamnagar by Government of India in 1950. Ghanekar, he belongs to 20th century AD. His native place is Maharashtra. He completed MBBS and then later studied Ayurveda. He was the faculty member of Ayurveda at BHU. Wrote commentary on Sushrita Samhita in Sutra and Sharirasthana in Hindi, and he also wrote books called as Aupasargika Roga, Swasthya Vijnana, etc. Damodar Sharma Gaur, he belonged to 20th century AD. He was a professor in the Department of Sharira Rachana in BHU. He was the authority of anatomy and later appointed as professor and HOD of Department of Basic Principles in BHU, and wrote books called as Abhinava Sharira, Abhinava Prasudi Tantra, Ayurveda Darshana Sangraha. He has been awarded cash prize of 1 lakh by Baidyanath Ayurveda Bhavan Limited for excellence work on anatomy. Priyavrat Sharma, he was born in 1920 and died in 2007. He belongs to Bihar. In 1940, he passed AMS in first class from BHU. After that, he passed MA Sanskrit and MA English. In 1946, he was appointed as lecturer at Shivakumara Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya in Bihar. And in 1953, he joined in the DG department of BHU. And in 1956, he was the principal of Government Ayurveda College Patna. In 1963, he established PG at BHU. He was the member of CCIM for few years and he has wrote book on Dravya Guna Vijnana. He edited and published old manuscripts like Shotala Nikantu, Dravya Guna by Madhava, etc. Next, regarding globalization of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is gaining popularity not only in South Asia but globally also. It is getting popularity because for preventing and managing chronic diseases. As India had trade relation with various countries, Indian culture, traditions, civilization and medicine has influenced the people of other countries also. Thus, the popularity of Ayurveda has spread in Mishra Desha, China, Thailand, Tibet, Sri Lanka, etc. Today, the proliferation of Ayurveda is augmented and it is spreading in Europe, UK, Russia, Japan, etc. So, the reasons for the popularity are digitalization, the ease of travel, exchange of knowledge, luxurious health retreats, health spa, 5-star hotels, etc. are providing Ayurvedic massage and relaxation treatments, and side effects of modern medicines are increasing and lifestyle approach is lacking, where Ayurveda gives the solution for them. So, Ayurveda in Mishra Desha or Egypt, evidences shows that Ayurveda medicine in Mishra Desha flourished around 3000 BC. Practices like enema and leech therapy might have reached from India. Ayurveda in Nepal. Ayurveda has national status in Nepal. Tribhuvan University at Kathmandu has Ayurvedic college which is offering degree courses in Ayurveda. Ayurveda in Sri Lanka. Ayurveda hospitals were present during the time of 437 BC. The Ministry of Indigenous Medicine has the Department of Ayurveda. At present, 2 Ayurvedic medical colleges are offering BAMS degree in Sri Lanka. Ayurveda in other countries. It has been established globally as a unique system of health care, widely practiced as wellness therapy with no recognition or regulation in developed countries of America, Europe and Australia. Many educational institutions are offering various Ayurveda courses and which are being run in these countries without registration and recognition. Role of Ayush in spreading Ayurveda in international sphere. Ministry of Ayush under its fellowship scheme extends financial support to the eligible foreign nationals for undertaking UG, PG and PhD courses in various institutes of India. Ayush experts are deputed to foreign countries to participate in international meetings, conferences, training programs, seminars, etc. Incentives are provided to Ayush drug manufacturers or Ayush institutions, etc. for participating in international exhibitions, conferences, workshops. Incentives are provided for registration of Ayush products with regulatory authorities of the foreign countries. Developmental activities in Ayurveda. In post-independent period, Chopra Committee was constituted in 1947 for the revival and development of Indian system of medicine, including Ayurveda. The committee recommended integrated development of Ayurveda along with the establishment of postgraduate institutions and research in 1948. On the basis of recommendations made by Chopra Committee, another committee was constituted under the chairmanship of Dr. C.G. Pandit, then Director of ICMR. Following its recommendations, a Center for the Research in Indigenous Medicine was established in Jamnagar in 1952 under the directorship of Dr. P.M.Mehta. In 1956, this was upgraded as a postgraduate center for Ayurveda. Dept Committee and Udupa Committee constituted by Government of India led to the formation of Central Council of Research in Indian Medicine and Homeopathy and postgraduate institutions all over India. Subsequently, CCRIMH was divided into 4 research councils, that is Central Council for Research in Ayurveda and Siddha, that is CCRAS, Central Council for Research in Unani Medicine, Central Council for Research in Homeopathy and Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy. Again, the CCRAS was bifurcated. Siddha system of medicine was given independent status as Central Council for Research in Siddha was established with its headquarters at Chennai. Presently, Research Council of Ayurveda is called as Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, CCRAS. Establishment of different committees. Ayurveda faced greatest setback when the Britishers came to India and the modern medical system flourished here. After First Revolution, Indians found the need for preservation of national, social, cultural heritage of India. For promotion of Ayurveda, different committees have been established. In the pre-independence era, Common Committee, Usman Committee, Bhore Committee and Chopra Committee was developed. And in post-independence era, Pandit Committee, Dept Committee and Udupa Committee was established. Common Committee. In 1917, Provincial Government of Madras constituted single-member committee headed by Dr. Common to report regarding usefulness of Ayurvedic system of medicine. The recommendations of this committee were: there is no need for separate Ayurveda hospitals, colleges and dispensaries. Supply of Ayurveda, Unani and Siddha medicines through modern hospitals is enough to cater the needs of the people. Next is Usman Committee. Suggestions given by the Common Committee was not up to the mark for the development of Ayurveda. So the government of Madras appointed a committee on indigenous system of medicine on 17th October 1921 headed by Ghana Bahadura Sir Muhammad Usman Sahib. the recommendations were establishing Ayurveda colleges, sufficient practitioners will come out of the medical relief, and CCIM should be established for registration of qualified Vaidyas. Because of this committee, the Government School of Indian Medicine was established in 1925 to impart teaching of Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani medicine with 80 bedded hospitals, and Central Board of Indian Medicine was established. Bhore Committee, known as the Health Survey and Development Committee, appointed in 1943 with Sir Joseph Bode as its chairman. It laid emphasis on integration of curative and preventive medicine at all levels, made comprehensive recommendations for remodeling of health services in India. The report submitted in 1946 had some important recommendations like integration of preventive and curative services of all administrative levels, development of primary health centers in 2 stages, major changes in medical education which includes 3-month training in preventive and social medicine to prepare social physicians. Next is Chopra Committee. Government of India decided to appoint a committee to improve public health system. Appointed Committee on Indigenous System of Medicine in 1946 under the chairmanship of Colonel Sir R.N. Chopra. The recommendations were both Western and indigenous systems of medicine should be harmonized, new curriculum which is uniform throughout the country for 5-year course, history of Indian medicine should be taught in modern medical colleges also. All teaching institutions should be the centers for carrying out researches, and teachers of Ayurveda college should be well paid. Pandit Committee. Government of India appointed Pandit Committee to advise the government about the steps to be taken to implement the recommendations made by Chopra Committee. The recommendations were incorporation of Ayurveda Unani instructions in curriculum of modern medical colleges. Teaching of modern medicine in Ayurveda colleges is not advisable because of the poor infrastructure of the Ayurveda colleges, and one uniform course of training in Ayurveda at degree level. And based on the recommendations of this Pandit Committee, Central Institute of Research in Indigenous Systems of Medicine was started at Jamnagar in 1953. Dept Committee. In 1955, Government of India appointed Committee for further development of indigenous medical system. The chairman was Sri Daya Shankar Trikamji Dev. Recommendations were graduates and 15 years experienced Vaidyas should be registered. Candidates must possess minimum qualification of intermediate BI PC to join the course of BAMS or Ayurveda. Uniform education pattern of 5.5 years course including 1 year internship, and all colleges should be affiliated to the nearest universities. Udupa Committee. The Government of India's Ministry of Health appointed the Udupa KN Committee on Ayurveda Research Evaluation in July 1958 with Dr. K.N. Udupa as the chairperson. The committee had to assess existing Ayurveda research, the need for upgrading institutions teaching Ayurveda, facilities for training research in Ayurveda, and the recommendations were all Ayurvedic training institutions should be affiliated to universities and subject-wise textbooks should be written in Ayurveda. And because of this recommendations on the committee, Central Council of Ayurveda Research was established. Different activities of different organizations. Department of Ayush, Department of ISM and H, that is Indian Systems of Medicine and Homeopathy, was created in 1995 March, and it was renamed as Department of Ayush in November 2003. To provide focused attention to develop education and research in Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, to upgrade educational standards of Indian Systems of Medicine and Homeopathy, to strengthen existing research institutions, to draw up schemes for promotion, cultivation and regeneration of medicinal plants, to evaluate pharmacopoeial standards of medicine and drugs, and the administrative setup is Union and State Minister of Health and Family Welfare. CCIM or NCISM. The Central Council of Indian Medicine is the statutory body constituted under the Indian Medicine Central Council Act. Since its establishment in 1971, the Central Council has been framing on and implementing various regulations, including the curricula and syllabi in Indian systems of medicine, that is Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani, at undergraduate and postgraduate level. The Sova Rigpa system of medicine is included in the CCIM from the year 2012 and to prescribe minimum standards of education in Indian systems of medicine. The National Commission for Indian System of Medicine, that is NCISM, has been come into force with effect from 11th June of 2021. CCRAS, Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences. CCRAS is an autonomous body of the Ministry of Ayush, and it is an apex body in India for the formulation, coordination, development and promotion of research on scientific lines in Ayurveda and Sova Rigpa system of medicine. The activities are carried out through its 30 institutes or centers or units located all over India, and also through collaborative studies with various universities, hospitals and institutes. The research activities of the council include medicinal plant research, that is medico-ethno-botanical survey, pharmacognosy and tissue culture, drug standardization, pharmacological research, clinical research, literary research and documentation, and tribal health care research program. Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia Commission. The Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India (API) is a book of standards describing the quality, purity and strength of selected drugs that are manufactured, distributed and sold by the licensed manufacturers in Pan-India. It is developed in two parts. The part 1 comprises of monograph of medicinal substances of natural origin, that is single drugs, and part 2 includes selected compound formulations comprising of popular Ayurvedic classics of different period of times. National Medicinal Plans Board. The National Medicinal Plans Board (NMPB) has been established by Government of India to coordinate with all the matters relating to medicinal plans, to support policies and programs for growth of trade, export, conservation and cultivation, and the board is working under the Ministry of Ayush. TKDL, Traditional Knowledge Digital Library. It is set up in 2001 as a collaboration between the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and then Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The objective of library is to protect the ancient and traditional knowledge of country from exploitation through biopiracy and unethical patents by documenting it electronically and classifying it as per international patent classification systems. In 2014, TKDL's administrative mandate was passed on to the newly created Ministry of Ayush. National institutions. NIA Jaipur. National Institute of Ayurveda is an apex autonomous institute under the Ministry of Ayush for promoting the growth and development of Ayurveda as a model institute for evolving high standards of teaching, training, research and patient care. To invoke scientific outlook of the knowledge of Ayurvedic system of healthcare, after its establishment in 1976, it has now 14 specialties of postgraduate education as well as regular fellowship program leading to PhD. Apart from this, there is also undergraduate courses, diploma course in Ayush, nursing and pharmacy and various other certificate courses. IPGT and RA Jamnagar. In 1952, Government of India has established a Central Institute of Research in Ayurveda at Jamnagar in the Dhanvantari Mandir. In 20th July 1956, a postgraduate training center in Ayurveda was established, PGTCA. In 1962, CAIRISM and PGTCA were merged to form the Institute of Ayurvedic Studies and Research. In 1963, IASR was renamed as Institute for Postgraduate Teaching and Research in Ayurveda, that is IPGT and RA. This institute is fully financed by Government of India and administered by Gujarat Ayurveda University. This institute is designated as WHO Collaborating Center for Traditional Medicines. Faculty of Ayurveda, BHU, initiated the training of Ayurveda in Banaras Hindu University in 1922 as a department in the Faculty of Oriental Learning and Theology. In 1927, a separate Ayurveda college was started for imparting training in both the Ayurveda and modern medical sciences. In 1978, the existing faculty was bifurcated into Faculty of Ayurveda and Faculty of Medicine. In 1999, 4.5 years duration graduation course in Ayurveda followed by compulsory internship of 1 year was started as per the recommendations of CCIM, leading to the award of BMS degree. RAV, Delhi. Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapith, located at New Delhi, is an autonomous organization under the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. RAV was established on 11th February 1988 with the objective of promoting knowledge and practice of Ayurveda. It started its function in 1991 in order to preserve and to arrange the transfer of knowledge of Ayurveda. The member of RAV, that is MRAV course, was initiated, and in order to preserve and propagate the special clinical skills, that is diagnosis, management and formulations possessed by practicing Vaidya, Vidyapith started a 1-year course, that is Certificate of RAV, CRAV, in 1999. Drug and Cosmetic Act. The Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 is an act of the Parliament of India. It regulates the import, manufacture and distribution of drugs in India. The primary objective of the act is to ensure that the drugs and cosmetics sold in India are safe, effective and conform to state quality standards. It contains provisions for classification of drugs under given schedules, and there are guidelines for the storage, sale, display and prescription of each schedule. The term drug is defined as which includes a wide variety of substances, diagnostic and medical devices, and the Act defines cosmetic as any product that is meant to be applied to the human body for the purpose of beautifying or cleansing. In 1964, the Act was amended to include Ayurveda and Unani drugs. The popular journals of Ayurveda. IJAPC, International Journal of Ayurveda and Pharmaceutical Chemistry. It is a bi-monthly peer-reviewed journal dedicated for scientific publication in Ayurveda and Pharmaceutical Chemistry. JAIM, Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine, a peer-reviewed open-access international circulating professional journal led by Institute of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine. AYU, International Quarterly Journal for Research in Ayurveda, published by Institute of Postgraduate Teaching and Research in Ayurveda, Jamnagar. JREIM, the Journal of Research and Education in Indian Medicine, a quarterly peer-reviewed international journal. Ancient Science of Life, an online-only open-access multidisciplinary journal in the field of Ayurveda. WHO in promoting Ayurveda. The specific strategies of WHO for promotion of TRM is rules for regulation of herbal medicine, criteria for classification of herbal medicines, scheme for standardization of herbal medicine, projection of pharmacovigilance programs of herbal medicine. WHO and promotion of Ayurveda. The Government of India, at the insistence of WHO, initiated the scheme of appointment of one medical officer of every traditional system of medicine, namely Ayurveda, Unani and Siddha, at every primary health center of conventional medicine in 1985. Ayurvedic clinical trial project might be a substantial program for evidence-based data generation of Ayurvedic classical medicines for certain diseases. We have completed the Fastrack revision series of Padartha Vijnana Evam Ayurveda Ithihasa. For more updates on Samhita and Siddhanta, make sure you subscribe the channel and follow our Instagram account. The short notes of this revision series are provided in the Telegram channel. Thank you. See you in the next video. Till then, bye.